Hi Watch Me Rise community, it's Kirsten. I'm back again and today I am here with a yoga flow and stretch class. I'm sure you've had a big week, you've done a bit of HIIT classes, meditation and just everything that comes in between with life. So I'm hoping today to just move through some basic movements to just open our body up, clear our mind, focus our mind, do good for our physical health and our mental health. It's a all-level class and I like to think of it as a moving meditation, taking time out for yourself, to give back to yourself and to give back to your body. I think we know a healthy body equals a healthy mind, just as a healthy mind equals a healthy body. And I don't think that we can have one without the other. So come and join me and we shall begin. Let's all start in a child's pose position. So we're going to bring our big toes to touch at the back of the mat. Take your knees out nice and wide and then just extend your arms forwards and see if you can bring your forehead down to the mat. If you can't bring your forehead, if you don't feel that stretch enough, you can also just place your fists on top of each other and rest your head. You can also lift your hips up a little bit more. But let's just take a few moments to stretch it out, reaching the arms forwards and pressing those hips back towards the heels. And as you just take a few moments here to settle in on your mat, see if you can just let go of anything else that's going on in life or in your mind. Let go of any to-do lists, anything you have to do or anywhere else that you have to be. And see if for the next 15 minutes or so you can just commit to keeping your mind into the four corners of your mat. Focusing on the body, focusing on the breath, and focusing on the mind. As we begin here, we just want to take a few moments to settle in, so let your breath just slow down. Maybe it's the morning and you're feeling a little bit tired, maybe it's the evening and you feel that you've been running all day non-stop. So let's just take these few moments to feel into your body, noticing any parts of tension, anywhere you might be holding a little bit more stress. And especially just allowing your mind to release. We'll take one more breath here. And then gently just slowly rocking your forehead side to side for a few times. And then staying down low, just crawl your hands over to the right hand side of your mat. Place your left palm on top. And then just take a side stretch. And I want you to focus on dropping that left shoulder and that left hip. Staying nice and parallel to the earth, feeling that nice stretch down the left side of your body. And then let's crawl the hands over to the left hand side, take the right palm on top and just gently again drop that right side, press the hips back, feel a nice stretch through the right hand side of the body. And everything we do today, we want to make sure that you can always breathe and the breath is nice and slow. If you're ever in a position and you find yourself holding your breath, that means you've gone too deep and it's becoming more stressful on your body and your nervous system. So everything we do today, we want to make sure is just calm, making sure you're not pushing yourself. And let's come back through center. And then we'll gently make our way up into an all-fours position, taking the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. We take a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, just arching the back, looking up to the sky. Exhale, pull belly into spine and round as you press the floor away. And again, inhale, arch, pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. And exhale, slowly rounding into the spine. A few more like that. Inhale, just arching, looking to the sky. And exhale, rounding into the spine. Last two, inhale, shoulders down and away, look forwards. Exhale, rounding into the spine. Last one, inhale, arch, look to the sky. And exhale, slowly rounding into the spine. Coming back through center. And then keeping the hips above the knees. All I want you to do is just reach your arms forwards and see if you can drop your forehead as close to the ground or to the ground if you can, getting a nice juicy opening into the chest. So a lot of us sit at the desk all day and that really kind of rounds and tightens our chest. This should just open up through the shoulders, through the chest, allow us to breathe a little easier. Keep working to extend those arms forwards and try to just relax the chest between the shoulders. For a lot of us, this can be quite tight and uncomfortable, but so good for you. And then let's look forwards, and we're going to come all the way down into our belly, keeping our elbows underneath our shoulders. And then just lift the chest. Again, no strain, so don't pull into your neck or your shoulders. Just gently lifting the gaze, lifting the chest, pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. Just opening up the front of that body. Like I said, it often doesn't get a lot of attention. And then let's lower our chest all the way down to the ground. Forehead down to the mat. Take your hands just underneath your shoulders. And let's just take a baby cobra. So hands stay next to the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then just slowly lift up and look forwards. And then gently release all the way down to the mat. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale, squeeze the back together, lift and look forwards. And slowly release. Last one, squeeze the back together, look forwards. And slowly release it down. Tuck the toes under, come back to that all fours position. And then let's make our way to a downward facing dog. So we're going to lift our hips up to the sky. Hands shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart. You can keep a little bend into your knees if you need. Otherwise, pressing into the palms, you're looking back towards your knees and maybe just shaking the head out a little bit. We really want to work to get that spine a little bit straighter. So if you are a little bit tighter, you might need to bend your knees a little bit. And then let's just walk those heels out one at a time. Lowering one heel down, making sure the neck is nice and relaxed and the jaw is nice and relaxed. And bringing both heels back through center, stretching it out just a little bit more for one more breath. And then inhale, rising to the tippy toes, looking forwards and just taking a few small steps. Bend your knees as much as you need, all the way forwards to the top of your mat. Making sure those feet are hip distance apart. Inhale, take your hands up your shins, lengthen through your spine, look forward, shoulders down and away from the ears, really trying to straighten into that spine. And exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat, bend those knees as much as you need. 2 more like that. Inhale, hands up the shins, lengthen, look forwards. And slowly exhale, round it forwards. Last one, hands up the shins, lengthen, look forwards, and forward fold. Relax into the neck, take a little bend into the knees and gently begin to roll yourself up one vertebra at a time, all the way up to standing. Take your time. As you come to standing, inhale, reaching those arms up and overhead. Palms to touch and then just bringing the hands down in prayer position in front of the chest. Grounding evenly through your feet, pull your shoulders down, stand a little bit taller. And then just take a moment to close your eyes. And let's just set an intention for our practice. Our intention for today is to let go and let flow. If you're anything like me, I tend to hold on to things. I like my structure, my routine, rigidity sometimes, which is great. But sometimes we need to just be able to let go of things that don't serve us. things that might not be able to be working for us right now, things that might be a little bit of a struggle, and we just need to let it go and we just need to flow. And that's the theme of today. So repeat to yourself one more time, let it go, let it flow. And then blinking the eyes open, bringing the arms down next to the side of the body. Let's just move through a few sun salutations. Inhale, reaching those arms up and overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, forward fold, hands all the way down to the mat. Take that halfway lift it up, hands to the shins so you can keep hands to the floor. And then forward fold and slowly step your right leg all the way back to a long lunge position. Drop those hips down, pull the chest forward, feel a nice stretch into that right hip. And then place the hands down and let's step back to a plank position. You can either stay with your knees lifted or you can drop your knees for a modified version. And then we lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes, press into the palms this time. Full cobra, lifting the chest all the way up, pressing into the floor. And then let's lower the chest all the way to the ground. Tuck the toes under, lift those hips, and we take it back, downward facing dog. Few breaths here, stretching it out, pressing into those palms. Seeing if you can press evenly into both palms and keeping the weight even between the right and the left side. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes, look forward, step your right foot forwards to that long lunge position once more. And then step the left foot forwards all the way to the top of the mat. Feet are parallel. Take the halfway lift, look forwards, and then slowly forward fold. Rise all the way to standing, lift the arms up and above, and then palms together, hands towards the heart. Round number 2, inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, forward fold, hands down the front and center. Take a halfway lift, lengthening through the spine. This time, hands down. Let's step that left leg all the way back to that long lunge position. Just pausing here as we drop those hips and we pull the chest forwards. We plug those hands down, step it back to a full plank position. Or remember, you always have the option to lower your knees down. And we lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes, press into the palms, lift the chest, cobra, look forwards. And then lower the chest all the way down, tuck those toes under, lift those hips, take it all the way back, downward facing dog, just for a breath. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes. And gently look forward, step your left foot forwards to a long lunge and then your right foot forwards to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift, lengthen, look forwards and gently forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, lift those arms all the way up and overhead and palms to touch, hands to the heart. One more round to go. Inhale, reaching those arms up and overhead. You know where we're going. Palms to touch, forward fold, all the way down to the mat. Take a halfway lift, look forwards. Hand to the mat. This time you can either step back or you can jump back. Lower the knees or keep the knees lifted. Lower the chest down. Inhale, lift into your cobra position. Slowly drop the chest down, tuck the toes under, lift those hips, take it back, downward facing dog and take a breath. Inhale, raise the right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. Look forwards, take a step all the way through. If you need help, you can use your hand and shuffle that leg forwards. Let's drop the back knee down to the mat, pull the chest forwards. Gently bring the hands up onto the thigh and see if you can sink those hips forwards, getting a nice stretch into the hip. Lifting the chest, let's lift the arms all the way up to the sky. Now when we're sinking forwards, we don't just release and relax everything. We still want to hold the core in tight and we still want to control our stretch, reach up. And then rotating to your right, so the left arm goes forwards, right arm goes back as we just take a twist. Gazing back over the right shoulder, keeping those hips nice and square. And then inhale, reaching those arms back up. And slowly taking the hands down to the mat. And then we're going to straighten into that right leg. Pull the hips back so that they're over the knees. Flex the toes back towards the face. Try straighten this leg. If you need to keep a little bend, if you can. Also, if you can't get all the way down, you can pull your hands back a little bit, or you can hold up onto your knee if you can't get as low into that stretch. Just feeling a nice stretch into the back of the legs. Pull the chest forwards, inhale. And then slowly round and forwards, exhale. Coming back forwards into our lunge, so let's bend into that right leg, pick up the back knee, find your lunge. Now you're going to step your back foot all the way forwards behind the right foot, so your legs are in a crisscrossed position. Got my right leg forwards and my left leg behind. Inhale, take that halfway lift. Remember, you can keep your knees bent if you need. And exhale, forward fold. 2 more like that. Inhale, stretch it forwards, feeling a little bit of a different stretch this time. And then slowly fold it forwards. Last one. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, gently fold. Now squeeze those legs together. Lift the arms all the way up and overhead. You're going to take your left hand to your right wrist and then take a lean over to the left hand side. Try push down with the right hip and foot, getting a nice juicy stretch down the side of the body, the hip, maybe even down the side of those legs. Then we slowly come all the way back up to center. Keep those legs squeezing, hands all the way down to the mat. Let's step that left leg back, then we step the right foot back to your plank. Modify if you need, lower all the way down. Inhale, find your cobra. Chest down to the ground, tuck those toes under. Let's take those hips back, downward facing dog. Just one more side to go. Remember, you can always rest when you need. Find a child's pose. Yoga is all about listening to your body and working with how you feel and how much you have to give on any given day. Let's move on. Lift that left leg back behind you and pull it in. Look forwards. Take that step through. Remember, shuffle your foot forwards if you need. However you need to get it there. Let's drop that back knee down. And then inhale, reach those arms up and overhead. See if you can sink a little bit more into those hips, still keeping it nice and controlled. Take an inhale, reach for the sky, then we twist to the left hand side. So this time the right arm comes forwards, left arm goes back, and we gaze back over the left palm or shoulder. If you need to pull out a little bit, you can always come a little bit further back. And then we come back through center, inhale, both arms up to the sky. Taking the hands down towards the mat, and then we're going to pull those hips back, straighten into that front leg. Let's get that hamstring stretch. Toes flex back towards the face. Remember, move your hands, adjust accordingly as you need and as you feel comfortable. As I said in the beginning, if we begin to hold our breath or strain too much, then we're not actually relaxing the body and allowing it to do what it needs to do. Inhale, pull the chest forwards, and exhale, slowly rounding. Gently coming back forwards, lifting the back knee up, and then we're going to step the right foot back behind the left. So this time I've got the left leg forwards, the right leg behind. And then inhale, halfway lift, look forwards, and exhale, let's slowly forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, slowly fold it forwards. One more to go. Inhale, look forwards, and exhale, let's fold. Squeeze those legs together. Let's stand all the way up, reaching those arms up and overhead. This time we take the right hand to the left wrist, reach and lengthen, and then let's lean it over to the right hand side. few deep breaths here and plugging down into that left hand side. And then inhale, let's bring it back to center. Slowly forward fold, hands down to the mat. Step the right foot back, and then we step that left foot back. Your version to lower all the way down to the ground. Cobra pose, lift it up. Chest down to the ground, tuck those toes under. Final downward facing dog. Take a stretch back. Last few breaths here before we move down onto the mat. And then let's gently lower our knees down to the mat. The standing sequence is done. Crossing those legs over and slowly releasing them out in front of you. Let's extend the legs all the way out in front, hip distance apart. Flex the toes back towards the face. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, let's reach the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, slowly reach forwards towards those toes. Pull yourself forwards. And for this one, you don't want to strain and stress. You want to just relax more over those legs. So if you can't reach your feet, you can always grab your ankles or your calves or even your knees. And this is more a relaxed pose rather than a held pose. You're just releasing into the neck, just letting everything fold forwards. You should feel a nice juicy stretch down the back and then those back of the legs. The shoulders are feeling a bit tense, try to draw them down and away from the ears. And then slowly rise all the way back up. Let's stay facing the same way. I'm going to face you just so that you can see what I'm doing. Let's take the right ankle and cross it on top of the left knee. And then we're going to take the left foot underneath. If this is impossible for you, you can just sit in a cross-legged position with the right leg in front. Try drop those knees out to the side, sitting up nice and tall. Either stay here or you could see if you can reach your arms forwards or even just come down onto your elbows. What I like to do is actually bring my hands to a prayer position in front of me and release my forehead to be supported by my hands. It just helps me relax a little bit more, which I always really like to focus on at the end of a class once I've been moving. I really like to just slow it down and feel supported in the best way possible at the end of my class. But you choose whichever version suits you and feels better in your body. You should be feeling this into your glutes and into those hips. And then we release, lifting it all the way back up. Slowly extending the legs as we switch sides. You can give them a little shake out. This time we take the left foot on top. We have the right foot underneath. Remember, if you can't do this, you can just place the left foot in front of you. Arms to the side, sitting up nice and tall. Again, either staying here, seeing if you want to reach those arms forwards, elbows down, or you can join me in my favorite way, bringing those palms together, letting the forehead just rest onto the thumbs. We often hold a lot of tension in our hips, so this could be extremely tight for those of us that are stressed, which is probably most of the population. So really just focus on trying to allow that tension to melt away from the hips. As we release tension through the body, it does help to release that tension in our mind at the same time, and vice versa. As I said, there's a huge mind-body connection, and this is why I love yoga so much, is because it really does enforce that connection. And then let's gently make our way back up. Extend those legs out, giving them a little bit of a shake, holding behind the legs, and let's just come all the way down to laying onto your mat. As you come down to lay, let's just take a nice big stretch, reaching those arms, pointing those toes, and then drawing those knees into the chest. Taking your arms out into a cactus position, and let's just drop the knees over to the right hand side. Really try to drop that left shoulder down, and if you want, you can take your right hand to just add a little bit more of a tension or a pull in that twist, taking those legs over to the right. You can keep your gaze to the sky, or you can take your gaze over that left shoulder. But again, trying not to lean over too much. Try keep that shoulder down. And then let's draw it back up through center, and we'll just slowly switch sides, taking those knees, lifting them up over to the left. Again, you can take that left hand onto the thighs if that helps. Gaze can stay up, or you can deepen the stretch by just looking over that right shoulder. And then we bring it all the way back up to center. Let's hug those knees in. Draw your forehead up to meet your knees. Really tuck into a tight little ball. And then let's gently release and open up into our final posture, Shavasana, our final relaxation posture. So we just let the feet go as wide as the mat and the feet just flop out to the side. The arms go nice and wide next to the body, palms up to the sky. Just allowing your whole body to be heavy on your mat onto the floor as you just find full relaxation. Just letting that whole class sink in just for a minute here in silence. And then just beginning to slowly deepen the breath. Taking a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. Wriggling fingers, wriggling toes as you're just bringing awareness and begin to wake the body up. If you do have more time to stay here, I really do recommend that. But if you have to move on with life as we have to, then slowly with me, just take that stretch, reach the arms up and overhead. And then drawing those knees into the chest, just for a moment. And then let's slowly rock all the way up to a seated position. Just sitting cross-legged, finding a comfortable seated position for you. See if you can keep your eyes closed down and bringing those palms to the heart center. Taking a moment here to be grateful for your practice, to be grateful for your body, and to be grateful for your mind, and to be grateful for this amazing movement that is bringing us all together and supporting us and supporting people beyond us. Feeling into your body, this peace, relaxation, maybe a bit of mobility, maybe a little bit of energy, maybe the realization you need to do more yoga. And really taking this into your day, your night, your week. You lower the chin towards the chest and we say namaste. Thank you so much again for joining me for this class. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love to hear from you. Any feedback, I have mentioned before, you can find me online at Kirsten Scott Health. Again, I would love to support you in any way possible. Like I said, let me know how you like the class, how you love my meditation. If you do need any mental health support or you need help in supporting others, my inbox is always open, and I like to remind people to please reach out to me. Please stay in contact. I hope you've enjoyed the week so far and you enjoy the rest of the week. And yay for Sunday's culmination celebration. If you're in Joburg, I will see you there. Otherwise, enjoy all the other events happening. Thanks.